This video is sponsored by Intego. Well, Tim Cook is teasing a launch, indicating there's a new member of the family coming very soon. And last week we heard heavy rumors that the iPhone SE is on its way this week, but apparently that has now been pushed back to next week, February 19th. Now, this isn't an event or anything, but I do find it a bit interesting that there's a little bit of a tease with the hashtag included in the tweet by Tim that says Apple launch. But let's also take a look at the animation and kind of treat it like an event and see what it could mean. And so what we see right now is a circle surrounding an Apple logo that's kind of melting between silverish, white, and black. Now, we all know that the iPhone SE4 is rumored to come in white and black colors this year, so that kind of solidifies that in my mind. But the Apple logo with the circle around it, I'm not really totally sure what that means, if anything. Of course, we're always just speculating here. But, you know, any kind of tiny clues on what these images could mean, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, there were rumors about the iPhone SE4, which is the 4th generation, getting a name change this year and become possibly the new iPhone 16e. And given the importance of the CEO tweeting something like this, because it doesn't usually happen for products that get dropped via a press release, I feel like this name change could actually happen here, as Apple could then position this phone as an iPhone 16 rather than just a one-off budget device. In case you haven't heard why this year's iPhone SE launch is a bigger deal than years past, that's because it's expecting to get a pretty heavy redesign and will now be shifting away from that iPhone 8 style to resemble that of an iPhone 14. We should be getting an OLED 6.1-inch Retina display, massive upgrade from the sub 1080p LCD panel that we had in years past, with those large top and bottom bezels, and of course the home button. This iPhone will now come with a notch, so no dynamic island, but in that notch you'll get Face ID, which means the Touch ID home button will now be removed. We're also expecting the A18 chip, which is the same chip found in the current iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, as well as a brand new custom-built Apple 5G modem, which is the first time that Apple has built a modem and implemented it into its device instead of relying on Qualcomm to supply the cellular modem. There won't be any camera control or action buttons this year that were once previously rumored to be the case, but you could still expect a pretty major upgrade from the 2022 model here in just about every facet of this device. We can also expect to see a singular camera on the back of the phone, which is slightly different from the iPhone 14 model that we're kind of borrowing every other aspect from, as that phone had a dual lens camera setup, but this is consistent with iPhone SEs of the past. It's always had one singular, at recently a 12 megapixel camera, but this time we're going from 12 to the same 48 megapixel main sensor that's found in current higher end iPhones. So your photos should still look really good coming from this main sensor. And finally, the iPhone SE or the 16e, whatever it might be called here, should be getting Apple Intelligence features since it's rumored to have the A18 chip, and also expected to get 8 gigs of RAM since that's the minimum required amount for Apple Intelligence. These new features include writing tools, Genmoji, Image Playground, all of the things that we've already seen so far, and potentially next week we could see iOS 18.4, which should have a sneak peek at the new and improved Apple Intelligence Siri features coming later this year. But betas for 18.4 should be coming potentially next week, so it'll be a nice look into what your new iPhone SE can do in just a few short months. Now, the iPhone SE4 is rumored to start around the $479 price tag, which makes this a tremendous value already, but you'll get a ton of new features that a lot of older phones just don't have, and you could be getting it for under $500, which is really great. Now, I doubt we'll hear about this next week, but we will potentially be hearing about it soon. So there are heavy rumors from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman and others that the new M4 MacBook Air is expected to be introduced within weeks, and that the M3 stock is already dwindling. A private account on X has also shared the identifiers that the MacBook Air will use, and those identifiers correspond to the M4 chip. According to that source, both the 13 and 15-inch MacBook Air will be equipped with Apple's T8-132 chip, which is the M4 SoC. Now, we're really only expecting the M4 Air to have just a new chip upgrade and perhaps some other minor improvements, but potentially we could get something that could pop up last minute, so stay locked into MacRumors.com and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. But I would love to hear from you in the comments down below about the new product that should be coming next week, week according to Tim Cook's tweet, and everything else in those comments down below. Now, before we end today's video, let me quickly tell you about today's sponsor, Intego. It's a common misconception that Macs can't get viruses or succumb to malware in any way, and that's just not true. There are more targeted malware attacks for Mac users than ever these days, and Intego has been fighting these attacks for over 27 years. And Intego can definitely help you stay protected with its new Mac Premium Bundle X9 solution. Inside the bundle, you get Virus Barrier, which has been widely recognized as the best antivirus for Mac, and offers real-time on-demand scanning to prevent suspicious applications from running, and can also clean an already infected machine. You'll also get Net Barrier, which is a bi-directional firewall that analyzes whether someone is watching your Mac in the background, especially on public Wi-Fi terminals where hacking is made easy. It is also a simple-to-use interface with different settings for work, home, and public modes. The Washing Machine app is a Mac cleaner that cleans up disk space by deleting unnecessary files, and you'll get access to Intego's Privacy Protection VPN, which will hide your IP address and protect you on public Wi-Fi, and also enable access to geo-restricted content when on the move. There's also Content Barrier for parental controls and personal backup to complement Time Machine when backing up your data. So head down to the description below for a 65% off discount and try Intego's Mac Premium Bundle today with a 30-day money-back guarantee. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.